And there you guys go. Sorry for the audio, I didn't realize I turned my mic off. It's back on. That's an example of how you can actually put the light somewhere and make it seem like, you know, it's doing something. Now I could put it up here also if I wanted to. Nice part about it is the touch feature right here. If you press it, it changes the intensity of the light. So if you don't need it that high, you want it low. It's a nice little aesthetic for behind me for these videos for you guys. So shout out to Libraries for sending that out. And again, these you just plug in and you get the same idea. I don't have any available ports around here right now, but you guys catch my drift. Alrighty. What is going on, my peeps? Man Versatiles back with another video. Back here to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2. My review on this. Yes, I've had this for a month and I've pretty much been quiet about it. I think one of the things I wanted to test with this watch was, could it just seamlessly fit into my life without having any issues? And if it could do that, then it's a great watch. Why? Because I use the Galaxy Watch and the Gear S3. Those are much bigger watches. Well, I won't say much bigger, but 2 millimeters bigger. But it's crazy the amount of difference that makes. Now, before we get into the video, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys ignite the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so we never miss my videos. That way we can sit back, chillax, and see what's cracking. Now let's get into the video. And one of the first things we're going to talk about is this color. Yes, it is official. It is like a midnight blue color. That's one of the things that we couldn't figure out in the unboxing because it threw me off. I thought I was going to have a black watch, but it is not. It is a blue color. One of the other things that I wanted to highlight is this band is really nice. Again, you don't really realize it's on your wrist like that because one is very light, but the material feels good to the skin. And sometimes I forget I'm wearing my watch. Now, for the heavy hitter, how's battery life? No. Durability, that's what we're going to talk about. As you guys know, I deliver for FedEx, which means I'm in some type of a big vehicle, clanking, banging around, having to move boxes back and forth, hand trucks back and forth to deliver packages. And this is the watch I'm wearing. And as you guys have seen with some of the B-roll and right here, that hopefully I can show you guys if you guys didn't see in B-roll, there is not a scratch on this thing. One of the things that surprised me the most, which means that this AMOLED panel and or this glass that they have on top of it, I forgot what kind of glass it is. I know it's like Corning Gorilla, but it works. It protects this device. I don't have no cosmetic issues with this watch, and that's one of the things that I appreciate a lot. Now with my Gear S3, that's finally gotten beaten up, but I've had that watch for like 3-4 years now, so that makes sense for that watch to be very beat up at this point. In the Galaxy Watch, I do have a bezel ring on top of it, and even though I have that, the bezel ring is still intact. So, and I've only had that for like 2 years, maybe 3. That being said, for this watch to be slightly smaller, that's where those 2 millimeters come in handy. This is a 44 millimeter as opposed to those being 46, but it's also about the bulk size of the watch overall. The face is smoothed out and is much smaller, and that provides this to not actually hit as much. But also if I do, it's not as much, it's not as impactful because it's not as much, it's just seriously not taking up the same amount of space. And that's one of the things that I really appreciated about the Galaxy Watch Active 2 was the size. Granted, I would have liked 45 millimeter, or with this body style that they've changed, I think this would do better at 46 millimeter. But I think 45, which is the sweet spot for the Galaxy Watch 3, looks very good, and you could tell they've also slimmed that down from the previous generation Galaxy Watch. So I will be looking forward to getting that and sharing my thoughts on that. But for the Galaxy Watch Active 2, this body works great and it looks very good on the wrist. Now I do also have smaller wrists, so you know, having a slightly smaller dial isn't as bad, but I really am looking forward to getting that Galaxy Watch 3 because it is 45 millimeter. You'd be again, just that small of a difference just really changes how this watch looks and feels. Now, software wise, I haven't had any issues with Tizen. Now, granted, this is the only watch that I've had connected to my S21. I have not basically imported or connected my other watches to my S21, so that way I've not had to actually check out the the auto switch feature for the Galaxy Watch Active 2. But I will say software works seamlessly on here. It feels much more smooth. I know out the gate this had like 3 updates, or out the box this had like 3 updates, 3 or 4 updates out of the box. But since then, no issues. I couldn't download a couple watch faces at first, but once my Galaxy S21 updated with the February security patch, I could download those watch faces. So that was a little strange and weird. But again, outside of that, no issues in terms of the software. In terms of the workout features, it does auto detect. It auto detects pretty well. Sometimes I've had a couple instances where when I was running or when I was not running, I just happened to get up out of like my chair or whatever. It thought I was going to start working out. I've seen that happen a couple times, but it didn't last long. It finally cut out. One of the things it does notice well is if you've been sitting for a long period of time or basically been stagnant, you know what I'm saying, you haven't been moving. The minute you stand up, it recognizes that and gives you, you know, a vibration or some type of notification letting you know, hey, you did a good job getting back to being active. So I do like that. One of the other things that I found to be interesting is the ECG monitor built within the watch. Yes, it's integrated into the back button on here. That's why it's another color as opposed to being this little itty bitty flesh colored power button. It's like silver, and that's where you would place your finger to get an ECG reading of your heart. Now I've done like 3 readings so far, and the very first reading I did, it said I had AFib, and I was like, hold up. And then I did it 2 other times after that, and it said I was fine. So definitely take the results with a slight grain of salt. Also do it a couple times to see what you get, to see if there's any consistency with whatever reading it gives you. But if it does give you more times than not some type of a problem, you probably should go see a doctor. For me, I think I'm good. Seeing that 3 of the 4 times or 2 of the 3 times, whatever, it said I was sinus or there was no issues. So I'm good, but I'm hoping that they can at least also improve that, so that way when you do a reading, you're not left in confusion or hesitant to understand whether or not that is an accurate reading of what's going on with your heart and your health. Now, the biggest elephant in the room really is battery life on this thing. How is battery life on the Galaxy Watch Active 2? Let me put this baby back on, you know what I'm saying? Battery life has been pretty good. Really no complaints. Lasts about 2 days with the watch face always on. So if you have the display always on, it'll last maybe 2 days, and then you'll have to charge it after that. If you have it with the watch always off and it just turns on with the flick of the wrist, the flick of the wrist, look at the flick of the wrist, look at the flick of the wrist, then your battery's gonna last like 2.5 to 3 days before you have to put on the charger. Now to me, it's not a big deal having to put it on the charger because you're gonna end up probably taking this off your wrist at some point and then just plop it on the charger. It charges really fast. The new little charger they have, which is just a magnetic dock that you can put it on, is nice. The only problem you can have is like trying to remove it, which is kind of why I like the previous way to charge the phones, you know, sideways on the docking station. But outside of that, haven't had any issues charging this watch or going without it. You know, I won't say without it, but having to use the battery power saving features with the watch. You know, one time I was at work and I decided to turn it on and have like 5%, and it lasted me like 4 or 5 hours at 5%. It dropped down to like 4 before I got home, turned on battery power saving, and put it on the charger. So it shows you that with the power saving capability of this, it also lasts a very good amount of time. And if you use like black or basically AMOLED friendly watch faces, that will also help you with your battery life. Now let's rewind quickly back to software. One of the things I didn't touch on, that's because I have not used it with this, is sleep tracking. I really would actually like to, since this is lighter and smaller on my wrist, but because I sleep with somebody else in the bed, you know what I'm saying, like they be acting funny sometimes when I got a watch on. So I will try to test that. It might also take a hit on battery life, but that's how you can also track your sleeping habits and to understand how you sleep, when you're actually sleeping in some deep form or whatever. What I noticed from the Galaxy Watch when I tried it there in the Gear S3 is that it's pretty accurate in terms of when you actually fall asleep. And a lot of that, I'm sure, has to deal with your heart rate and when that drops, when that elevates, you know, depending on your sleep. So that's something I just wanted to touch on real quick in this video. But that also is pretty much it in terms of being able to talk about this watch. Now, personally, it's kind of hard. It's not as hard just because it's a very, very dark, deep blue, but it can be kind of hard to accessorize this. I mean, if you just get different color bands, I'm sure it'll help with that. But because it's blue, it's like, man, why didn't y'all give me a black one? You know what I'm saying? But that's nitpicking. The Galaxy Watch Active 2 is hands down probably top 3 best smartwatches out on the market right now, more recent ones, and that includes the Galaxy Watch 3. Good job, Samsung, on continuing to make fresh watches and taking a chance with this smaller, rounder face as opposed to the bulkier round face that we got for the Galaxy Watch and Gear S3. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think about the Galaxy Watch Active 2. Do you have it? Are you thinking about getting it? Price has been pretty interesting. It's like I saw a sale going for $220 on like Amazon, and then if you trade in on Samsung, you'll get a deal there as well. I have links down in the description for you guys. Let me know you guys' thoughts about the Galaxy Watch Active 2 or Samsung's wearables ecosystem. Anyway, do you care for their watches? Do you wear their watches? Think about finally getting in there. Do you wear an Apple Watch? Let me know down in the comment section below. But again, if you guys haven't already, ignite the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss my videos. That way you can sit back, chill, to see what's cracking. But your boy Versatile signing out. And until the next video, wait for it. It's morphin' time.